What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of Freak Next Door. My name is Astrid. I'm going to be your host for this entire podcast. I'm 29 years old. I'm living in New Jersey, and I'm a fucking freak. And that's why I'm making this podcast. I've been working on launching this podcast for so long. I've been in the middle of a rebrand because I used to have a different little podcast that I was kind of doing a little test trial for, and I don't know. I saw some good feedback, so I kind of actually wanted to step up my game and actually go into this with a plan. I went to college. I graduated already. I have a bachelor's in communications. It's really just collecting dust. And I'm finally just implementing everything I learned in school into myself now. So, more about me. I've been searching for a job for like the last 3 years. And I'm still at the same job that I've been at for like almost fucking 4 years now. And I am so over it. I'm 29. I started working there when I was 25. Freshly graduated from college, the whole shebang. And I'm over it. I work in healthcare and I fucking cannot do it anymore. Healthcare is not for the weak. And I just want to leave it because I've did my due diligence. Like, I'm so over it. And I think it's time to do something that gives me way more fulfillment. And that is absolutely talking my shit. Never shutting the fuck up. That's like what this podcast is. I'm never going to shut the fuck up, especially about myself. So if you like to listen to everything and nothing, here goes. Here is what this podcast is all about. I kind of want to go into a little bit of why I even called this show Freak Next Door. Ironically, today I saw a video of Julia Fox describing how to be a freak, and I took down some notes because I have been working on this podcast for months. So the fact that I even heard her say that today was just like the push to start recording, because I'm doing all this work and I've never just did it, I never just put an episode out there, never even recorded anything. I've recorded stuff actually, but I've scrapped everything. I think I'm just such a perfectionist that everything I do feels so imperfect. That's literally just all I see in my own work sometimes, my own imperfections. But honestly, it's just a me thing, and it's me being hard on myself, and I think it's time to fucking stop and actually give myself some self-love. But Julia Fox, here are some notes I took down from that video I saw on Instagram. She talks about how to be a freak. Being a freak is someone who's unapologetically themselves. They've already figured out that they are different, but they're no longer trying to hide it. Part of being a freak is being delusional, and baby, I feel like delusion is the way I've made it this far in my life. I'm not even gonna lie. Honestly, if you're not living your life with a little bit of delusion, what the fuck are you doing? How are you just raw dogging shit? Being honest with yourself. Being a freak is being aggressive. And I guess what aggressive kind of means to me when it comes to being a freak, it's the fact that just you hit the ground running, you're unapologetically yourself, and it's abrasive. I think a lot of people are just gonna look at someone who sticks out because they're just unapologetic. Oh my god, what the hell? That's not even that hard to say, but I'm having a terrible time trying to say it. They're just what the fuck? They're unapologetically themselves. And that is really hard to do because a lot of the times you are just putting up a persona to everyone you meet. Everyone you meet has this initial judgment of you, and it's basically in how you look and how you behave and how you carry yourself, how you talk to other people, how you come across. And when you're a freak, that can be a little aggressive to some people, and people are gonna be like, ew, what the fuck? You're a fucking weirdo. You're such a freak. And honestly, yeah, who cares if people say that? Duh, don't be a fucking whack-ass person. Just fucking, I don't know. So it does come off as aggressive, but it's only going to come off as very aggressive to the wrong people. And Julia Fox literally talks about being a freak entails being alone, which is spending a lot of time alone and figuring out who you are and feeling really comfortable being alone, which I am alone all the time and I love it that way. I grew up an only child. I think I've found so many ways to entertain myself, even if it's just like staring at my own fingers. Also, I just love hanging out with myself. I like going on cute little dates with myself, and I don't know, I just feel like I have so much fun alone, and I rather be in good company than in shit company, and I'm always in great company when I'm by myself, and I think that's something a lot of people lack. Like, they just don't know how to be alone, and I don't know, I completely understand how that can happen because I myself have been like codependent before to other people, like a significant other or just like a friend. And I don't know, it's just like super hard to almost like disconnect yourself from that person and understanding that you are your own person and you can honestly be fine with yourself and enjoy your own company. Kind of sucks that I kind of didn't have that for a while, and it sucks because a lot of people are still like that, and a lot of those people will bring down someone who is not stuck in that position. So, being a freak, you're gonna get fucking judged by a lot of people, but guess what? Who fucking cares? They can go fuck themselves. They literally suck. Literally, that's why they're so hateful. Because, like, why? Why are you just being such an asshole because I'm being myself? That's, biggest rule when it comes to other people. At the end of the day, they're just projecting something onto you. It's really never about you. It's just a reflection of themselves. Julia Fox also said, dress the part. And it starts with the clothes. It starts how you come off, like, visually to other people. It's the initial judgment that they're going to have. How you look. How you present yourself physically. Yeah, so dressing the part. Julia Fox explains that it starts with your clothes. Clothes are signaling into the world who you are. And some people won't get it, but others will. And that's the more important part. Those who do get it, get it. And those who don't can just go suck my fucking clit, because literally, if they're gonna hate on you for not liking something that you like, that's like, move on. It's like not affecting them. And if it does, that's just some fan behavior. So always remember that when you're trying to be yourself and someone's, like being annoying. Why are you so obsessed with me? And lastly, Julia Fox explains to find your people. And that includes going to places like shows, museums, art shows, fashion shows, music shows. I don't know, just going somewhere that you align with and that resonates with you. Like, don't go somewhere because it's very popular to go to, is what she described. And honestly, I do go to a lot of places that are popular to go to. And I really don't have a lot of people that I can say are like my people every time I go to these things. Sometimes I find like really great people, but that doesn't happen unless if I go to something that's really resonating with what I want to do. And a lot of the times I'll go to these networking events, and I'm so fortunate to even be able to go to. I've met this one person when I lived in Brooklyn, and my life completely changed. Like, because of them, I have been a part of projects with brands and meeting photographers and models. They are the reason I was able to walk New York Fashion Week last year, which is a crazy thing to even fucking like experience. I didn't get paid for walking, but I got paid in other ways where I was granted, meeting so many new people, working with a stylist and befriending so many other stylists, and like genuinely finding my people. Weird bitches who love fashion, okay? And those are my favorite girls. I literally resonate with them so much, and it's nothing but just support for all these girls. And I'm just so happy that I even took a step to going there. And that's kind of what being a freak is. Sometimes doing shit like that freaks people out. It freaked me out to go to these events by myself at first because I don't know, I just like never really did that. And living in Brooklyn, I was always afraid to do things by myself, but just being out there forced me to enjoy my own company and try new things without waiting for someone else to do it with me. And that's really fucking hard. That was hard for me to do and get over, but now it's it's just like not a thing anymore. And I'm really, really happy that I kind of worked out that muscle of confidence to just be able to walk into a place, not know anyone, and still like enjoy my own energy and like, experience whatever the fuck is going on. And honestly, sometimes just striking up conversations with random people is always fun. You meet a lot of characters, and even if they align with you or not, it's just a good experience to just step out of your bubble. It's good to step out of your bubble and just like see what else the world has to offer in terms of like human experience and how other people view the world and what they do, and just step out of your bubble. I think everyone needs to do that. Some people are just really stuck in the same circle of people, and I don't think you grow that way. I don't even think you personally grow as an individual just being stuck around the same people. I am a firm believer that a lot of the people that you surround yourself with are a reflection of you. I genuinely had the worst types of people I was surrounding myself with. I had to just completely steer clear of these relationships because they no longer aligned with me. They might have aligned with me at one point when I was younger, probably going through some shit, but they don't anymore at this day and age. And some of those people just don't change, and I think, like, people change. And if they don't, someone in that friendship or relationship will, and they will just get up and go. And that's totally normal. I've seen it happen in my life, and I've been the person to walk out on so many people. Thankfully, I am pretty good at walking out, which I think is really fucked up to say, but I feel like I've just have to walk away from so many difficult things that it just became so easier, not even easy, but just a little bit easier for me to recognize that this is something I should walk away from and taking the first step to just cutting the ties. And it sucks because it's not like I haven't cried about it. It's not like I've mourned. It's not like I haven't mourned the absence of this relationship. It just feels like people die sometimes when like you cut them off. And at the end of the day, it was a relationship. It wasn't romantic. It didn't even have to be romantic. It could have just been your family. It could have been your friend, and it could have been a romantic partner. But at the end of the day, these are all relationships that you cultivate, and over time, you find out if there's something you should stick in or if there's something that you should walk away from. And sometimes the answer is very clear, but it's very hard to listen to that answer because I've been in that place so much. So yeah, Julia Fox, she said find your people. So I think you should find your people because I've been finding some of my people and I really love it, and I didn't even think that could happen at one point. Okay, so she talked about how she really came into her inner freak in middle school. I actually came into my inner freak in elementary school. It was very suppressed, I think, until recently. Like, I want to say until maybe I turned 26. Like, I started suppressing. I was suppressing just so much of all of my weird shit because I felt like I was weird and no one was gonna like it. Or just think that I'm a fucking weirdo. But I love my weirdo friends. Like, honestly, they're a vibe. So I think I just completely stopped suppressing it because, honestly, if I feel like I can't be myself around you, then you're probably not company that I should have around me. So that's how I see a lot of my, like, relationships with either, like, my family or my friends or just people that I'm meeting for the first time. Even in, like, professional environments, I listen to how my body feels because, honestly, I've ignored my intuition so much and it just feels like self-betrayal. I read that somewhere that, like, ignoring your intuition is self-betrayal. And the reason why I totally agree with that is because every time I ignored my intuition, it happened to be correct every single fucking time. And I betrayed myself by not listening to that sensation that I got. And it's like a literal physical sensation, like an uneasy sensation that just, like, washes over you in a sudden situation, whether you're with someone or like this weird position that you're placed in, like a setting that like has nothing to do with anyone else, like being alone in the woods or something. You feel a weird feeling, you listen to it because honestly, man or bear, and I would always choose the bear. She was talking about how she was like, finding her people And it was like, you know, the cat girls in school. And when I was in high school, I had so many cat girls. I actually still have like cat friends, and just like really feminine energy around me. And I genuinely love it so much. I think it makes me feel less bad about the way I used to feel doing these things, because I used to love like drawing cat whiskers on my face and taking selfies in high school. I think I was made fun of by like just one person, and they like, you know, they're not even in my life anymore. Like they just fucking sucked, and they were definitely just jealous of me. So yeah, I still did it anyway. But when someone brings down something that you're doing for fun, when it has no like connection to them, it does not harm anyone else, and like, why the fuck are you doing that? They're just probably jealous, or like just not even jealous of you being a cat, but just jealous that you have the balls to fucking do that and like be authentically yourself. Some people can't fucking do that, and then they just like mean girl the shit out of you. Literally. Mean girl, mean boy, fuck boy, like they're just mean. And lastly, Julia Fox said, don't fake it. The worst thing you can do as a freak is pretend. You need to be yourself. And that is what this podcast is. I am here to be myself, and honestly, I'm here to find my people. I feel like I don't have a lot of friends. You know what? I say that shit, but I actually do have a lot of friends. But I don't have like friends that I see all the time, I guess. I don't have a best friend. I'm also 29, so like it's just that part of life too, where everyone in my life is on completely different journeys. Like some of my friends are mothers and they're married, they live somewhere else. Some of my friends are just like in these really big corporate jobs and they don't have time. Some of my friends are still in school. And a lot of the times it's just the distance in our schedules because they don't align. And I think the best part of those friendships, thankfully, that I have is the fact that once we see each other or like connect again, it just picks right back up from where we left it. And I think that's just the most genuine friendship I've ever had with all of my friends, and I really greatly appreciate that. When I was younger, I used to have so many friends. And to be honest, in hindsight, I feel like I was one of the coolest people they could have ever had around them. And not to fucking like toot my own horn, but I remember feeling like I was not cool if I didn't have other people around me. I guess that like was a thing in high school, but what I never noticed is that everything I was doing was getting this like recognition of like, oh my god, you're so cool. You make everything look so aesthetic. And then I've had people say like, you can make a fucking boiled egg look so fucking cool. And I'm like, that's awesome. I don't know what it is, but I am just being authentically myself, and the fact that it is, you know, even resonating with people in that aspect where they see me as like this like cool person who has just such a visual aesthetic, like that's so sick. I love that. I'm such an art hoe. If you don't know what an art hoe is, please look it up on Urban Dictionary because it's pretty fucking hilarious. Okay, I'm just like watching this person. I'm recording this episode in my car, but there's literally a man in a full like onesie, like bodysuit that's like green, almost like he's about to record graphics for a video game or something. Anyway, he walked away. That was kind of funny. I think I'm just in a point in my life where I don't feel the need to change who I am to find my people, because at the end of the day, you're not finding your people if you really have to like mold yourself into a different version of yourself to have people around. And I also like do suffer from triggered BPD. So a lot of the times when I was younger, I would get the craziest BPD because I was constantly drinking and I was just going through a lot of shit. And just some of the worst of me would come out. Worst times of my life were my early 20s. Everyone lies to you. Your early 20s are the fucking worst. I swear to God, after 26, like this clarity that washed over me was insane. And I'm very grateful for it. But that's like really 20s are the new, oh my gosh, 30s are the new 20s. Because the closer I'm getting to 30, I just feel so much more peace with myself. I know what I want to do in my life, and just like any goals and ambitions that like I didn't have figured out in the past are figured out now. And I have like a sense of direction of where I should be heading. And I didn't have that even a year ago. A year ago, I kind of had an idea, and I was kind of scratching on the surface, but I think I just wasn't hitting the hammer on the nail yet. But now I did, and like I'm just like, I can't unsee it. Now I just have to go get it. And a huge goal of mine was to launch a podcast and just fucking talk my shit and be weird and be fucking off-putting in a pretty way, because honestly, I think I am off-putting in a pretty way. Okay, I love going to the woods and screaming at the top of my lungs by myself. I'll drive off to a lake and literally scream. Well, it won't even be a lake. It'll be like a boat launch or something, or like a reservoir where no one's at, and I'll scream at the top of my lungs and just let it all out. I will cry in my car. I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally don't give a fuck about how I look in public to other people, because at the end of the day, most of these people that I see are strangers, and I'm never going to see them again. And if I do, they care way more about what other people think about them than what I think that they're going to think about me. And that's a huge fact. I grew up in a very old school Hispanic household, specifically Ecuadorian. My grandma, my mom, everyone still gives a fuck about how they look going outside to just do groceries or even walk the dog. I literally go out there in my gummy bear, like, slippers. They're fuzzy and cute and obnoxiously pink. In my sweatpants, in my hoodie, my bedhead, like, fucking stickers. Not stickers, but, like, star face stickers for pimples all over my face. Hair in a bun. I look like that fucked up Bratz doll that, like, is a meme. I wonder if, like, people will understand what the fuck I'm talking about, what I mean by that. But she has, like, her hair up in a bun, and she just looks hungover from the night before. Yeah, so I just, like, really don't care how I look, how I come off. I'm just like, you take it or leave it first. Second, who the fuck are you? You have no significance in my life. And if you do, and you're judging me for my appearance, well, I think our relationship is going to be severed very soon if it continues, you know? Like, that's just not cool. I don't judge anyone by, like, how they look all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I will judge a fucking guy. I do judge guys, actually, so hard. If I see this man ripping a whole fucking vape at the ripe age of 40, wearing an Assholes Live Forever shirt, or whatever the fuck that shirt is, or brand, I'm judging you. Grow up. That's crazy. You can't just be wearing that everywhere. Like, that's not okay. I do know someone like that, and I think it's, like, really embarrassing. Like, you can't just be wearing that, like, merch out. It's just, like, constantly saying the most vulgar shit. And we'll be going out to, like, dinner. There's kids there. Like, I don't know. Just be fucking for real. Like, and also, like, a lot of the time they were older than me, and I still, like, was like, why the fuck are you dressing like this? This is very inappropriate for the family dinner, for, like, whatever the fuck we're doing, you know? Like, it's just, like, not casual, not cool at all. Like, oh my god, just so cringy. So I don't really judge people for their appearance, but men, on the other hand, I really don't hold my tongue too much. And honestly, at the end of the day, like, I'm not dressing for the fucking male gaze. I am dressing for the gays and for the girlies, okay? No cis men allowed. And if you're a cis man tuning into this podcast, you should probably go. Like, I'm not going to be talking very nicely about you, I think. And I'm just giving you a fair warning. So, let's talk about what kind of freak I am. And what freak in Freak Next Door means. Freak and Freak Next Door means anything you want it to mean. You want to mean it, like, in a kinky, sexual way? You fucking bet I'm a freak. If you want to meme it, if you want to mean it in a way where you dress weird, you act weird, you're weird, that's me. That's all this podcast is going to be. If you like ghost stories and aliens and crystals and spirituality and that woo-woo shit, that's me. I'm a fucking freak. And I don't give a fuck. Because I was raised in such a Christian household, and I think I had just such a strict and skewed view of what any of those things were. So like when I heard about witchcraft, I was like, oh my God, that's the devil's work. Like, hell no. And then I learned about it like in college and the Salem witch trials. And like basically these were just women ahead of their time and the men couldn't fucking fathom what the fuck was going on. So of course they hunted all of these women down because they were just fucking weirded out by them. And these Christian men were like, no, that's the devil's work. And so, of course, that got passed down to me the older I got in this crazy Christian household. So when I got to college, I started unlearning a lot of things that I feel like were just so embedded in my personality and upbringing, and just started stripping those away piece by piece because they didn't deserve a spot in my fucking life. And I just debunked so many things that I think were taught to me in church. So I genuinely really appreciate myself for even stepping out of the bubble of, Christianity. I feel like I stepped away from the church after a while. It just felt like it was really culty and unhealthy and weird. So just stepped away. I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And I feel like now I have a much healthier relationship with religion. I'm not really religious, but I completely understand why people use religion or practice different religions to, kind of go about their life with some kind of structure. I don't really believe in a God as in the guy or something, but I do believe in God as like good orderly direction. So when I say, oh my God, that's what I mean. I don't really mean like the dude that we all think about, because I kind of just don't even like that it's a dude. Like, are we sure it's a dude? Are we sure? I don't know. I want to know the proof. Just who gives a fuck about what other people think about you? I'm tired of like giving a shit about what my ops think. And I know I have a lot of ops. I think I'm pretty private when it comes to my like personal life online. I think I just share the best things about myself on Instagram. I usually don't talk about like my own like stuff going on, and if I do, it's only on my close friend story, and it'll be actually something where I feel like I want people to know that this is going on in my life, because sometimes I am just like subtly asking for support from someone, and people on my close friends list are only people that I really trust. So yeah, I'm not really sharing a lot of shit to everyone, but if there's one thing I know is that I got some evil eyes on me. Okay, I definitely believe in that shit. And I am with my man, my fiance. His name is Bri, and he also has some ops. I know he does. Like, oh my gosh, like, there's just always going to be people that are going to not even have it out for you, but just have an interest in you. A weird interest where, like, maybe they're not preying on their downfall, but they're there because if it happens, they want to see it. And I always think about, like, what if this podcast were to blow up and I became famous and successful, like on some Call Her Daddy shit. Oh my God, I love Alex Cooper. I would love to be a part of Unwell. But people change when fame and money is involved. And I absolutely fucking hate that. And I've kind of learned this year. Wait, actually, just kidding. It was last year, like in December. But I learned, it's January, by the way. I learned that some of the people that I thought I could trust were absolutely talking shit about me and just saying these really fucked up things about me. And I kind of want to confront them, but at the same time, I don't. We've been friends for a while, but I just don't feel like even confronting them. Like, I feel like I don't have the energy to. I would like to if we were ever in person again, because I think, like, I'm just such a fucking empath and I suck, and I do that. Like, I give people the benefit of the doubt and then I end up fucking myself over. I think I just, like, would want to establish where I'm at with them, and, like, you know, how everything I heard just severed the trust I had. And it was already in, like, the cracks, to be honest. Like, I've witnessed so many things that, like, gave me reasons not to trust them. And I ignored it, gave them the benefit of the doubt, and then found out I was the subject of a conversation. So, I would love to confront them, but at the same time, it just feels pointless. And I always have these, like, shower thoughts and before bed thoughts were like, if I were to get famous, who's going to reach out to me? And who's going to be like, oh my God, yeah, I supported you, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe any of the people who have said they supported me are really supportive. Only the people that I know who is, and I know for sure who is, and everyone else I don't believe. Like, that's kind of what I mean, actually. Like, when I say like my close and most dearest friends, I trust that they are not like that and actually, you know, want to see me flourish and grow, because like that's exactly what I want for them. We reciprocate the same energy to each other. I don't get that energy from the other people I'm talking about. Humongous red flag, right? Always be aware of how you feel around other people. And those red flags, sometimes they could be looking like six flags, but don't fucking fall for it. If you trust yourself enough to listen to your intuition, please never ignore it. Because I feel like I have the best intuition ever, and I've only betrayed myself so many times to figure out that I was wrong. Like, I was wrong to ignore it, and I should have listened to myself at the end of the day. And I know I'm not the only person, you know, subjected to this type of fucking behavior. Like, so many other women I know who are just spot on everything they say, ignore their own intuition, and get proven right. I think that's just something that happens when you grow up, and I think now that I'm older, it comes off a little bit abrasive, but I don't care at the same time. I'm a fucking freak, and I probably come off as a bitch, and I'd rather come off as a bitch than feel stupid for not picking up on the signs that were there that really, like, I should have probably just steered clear from you in the first place. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, a little bit to get to know me. I wanted to start this podcast to find my people. I love parasocial relationships. I think the time of YouTube and like podcasting becoming so big right now specifically is like my time to shine. I always wanted to do YouTube when I was younger, but I was too fucking insecure to pick up a camera and hit record and do it. And honestly, I could have been fucking traveling with Tart right now, but I'm not, because I just let all the fucking negative thoughts completely hold me back from going towards things that I feel like would have given me so much fulfillment. But hey, I'm in healthcare right now, but I think I'm on to the next thing. You know what I mean? This is just the phase of my life that I'm in right now, where I'm on to my next. And I love that for me. I love that I feel like it is time for me to let go of where I am currently and move on to something way more fulfilling. I think that's the best thing that comes with aging. Just a little bit more clarity about what you want for yourself and who you are. And I do see a therapist, so thankfully, sometimes I will catch myself when I'm being out of line, and it'll be when I'm talking out loud. Sometimes, like, I'll hear myself, I'm like, wow, I'm a crazy fucking bitch for just saying that. Or I'll get, my therapist will point it out. Like, it's just, you just don't need yes men, yes women in your life. You need genuine connections that will tell you the hard things, even when it's scary to say. When it feels scary to say, it's probably necessary to say. And, even in my, like, romantic relationships, anytime things felt really scary to say, I would still say it. And honestly, the relationships only grew stronger from that. And sometimes it wouldn't be fun topics to talk about, but the transparency means a lot more, and resolving everything together means a lot more than keeping it to yourself and letting that completely crumble, or maybe like bottle it all up and have it pour out in other ways and blow up on someone, or like, just end in this horrible resentment. I'm going to end this episode right here because I think I have been talking a lot, and to edit this is going to be so crazy. A New Year's resolution for me is actually to stop smoking so much pot, but I literally just bought a little 5-pack of joints from the brand Dog Walkers. I absolutely love them so much, and my favorite strain is Animal Face, and it was on sale because it's usually like $50, but $50 or $30. But I got it for $20, so I'm like, okay. Yeah, so should we light one up as a cheers? I think I should. Woohoo! Alrighty, guys. Actually, I don't even know. I'm gonna light this up with you guys here. Cheers to a wonderful first season of this podcast, and cheers to a wonderful new year. It's still January. It's actually January 11th today, and this podcast is going to be going up much later, but so cheers to that. Oh my god, lighting up ASMR. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, it tastes so yummy. I don't care if people are like, oh my god, weed smells and tastes bad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just don't get it. You just don't get it. I also lost the lighter I was using, so it's like canoeing. Hold up. Oh my god. This is why I want to quit smoking. I just can't be hitting shit like I used to anymore. I'm in my car and I'm gonna turn on my car, actually. I'm gonna air out this fucking place. Okay. Yeah, but this concludes our episode of Freak Next Door. Honestly, I'm gonna call you guys my little freaks, because if you're here and you resonate with anything I just said, you're definitely a freak. And I'm gonna talk about some crazy shit. I'm gonna talk about sex. I'm gonna talk about horrible relationships that I've been in. I'm gonna talk about great relationships I've been in and great opportunities and great friendships. And I kind of want to hear some questions from people, you know, just asking for my perspective on things, because I think I have a pretty great perspective on a lot of life topics. I've been through a lot of shit you wouldn't even understand, like, looking at me, like, all the shit I've been through. I'm like fucking 5 feet tall, like 4'11" or something. And a lot's happened. I feel like I've lived like 9 lives, and I'm ready to unpack all that shit here, because I've gone through some shit, and honestly, the stories are great. Despite them being horrible, they're great. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you want any advice, if you have any comments, if you want to hear me talk about anything, if you have any criticism, let me fucking know. Please let me know, because all of that will just help me improve and help me give you quality content. Oh my god! Quality content that I can make for you. So I love everyone listening so much. Thank you so much for hearing me out and just talk about so much fucking random shit. Also, I have ADHD, so if you followed along to any of that and it was all over the place, you are my people, because I feel like I have like the worst goldfish attention span. Almost, I have the worst attention span. I don't even watch anything. Yeah, so with that, I am going to end this right here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time with another new episode. Bye.